Hey guys, it's Mike Drudge coming to you from Leisure RV Center of DFW. We're part of the Vogt RV family of companies, not to be confusing, but we have our own location now strictly for Class B and Class B Plus motorhomes. Right here I have a 2024 Leisure Unity 24 rear lounge. Can't wait to show this off to you. I'm going to step back and let you pan around and have a good look at this. The 2024 LTV Unity 24RL features one of the coziest, comfortable lounge areas of all LTVs, all in a 25-foot slide-free package. Now this coach sports the Eurosport exterior. Inside it's got Dove upholstery, white oak cabinets, and Antarctic countertops, the brightest of all the decor options. This is the 2024 LTV Unity 24RL. 2024 brought some key changes to leisure travel vans on the Mercedes chassis. I'd like to point out some of the biggest ones right now. The first one's right under your feet. Custom floor mats from Mercedes. Really nice floor mats under your feet. After that, also in the cab area, we have a digital always-on rear view mirror. Inside, we have a brand new pantry rack system. Very nice. Next to that, in the galley, the refrigerator. All the refrigerators are now 12-volt refrigerators. Finally, smart TVs. All the TVs are smart everywhere. And finally, all generators in 2024 will be 3600 LP generators, not diesel, and we'll continue to have two 100 amp hour lithium batteries standard on all LTVs. All right guys, let's have a look on the outside of this unit before we go on the inside. I get this question a lot. What's your favorite floor plan? Nah, it's eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I like all the leisure travel vans and they all bring something to the table. So I can't wait to show the inside. On the outside, they're much the same. Now, storage is gonna vary a little bit between the floor plans. You'll get different amounts of what I call basement storage, and we'll get to that. But let's first talk about the power plant up front here. Moving into 2024 and beyond, we have a 4-cylinder twin turbo engine in here. Believe it or not, that delivers more horsepower and higher torque than its predecessor. How's that possible? I don't know, not a mechanic. But it's paired with a 9-speed transmission. So it's got a lot of zip, a lot of pep. I've driven this. Really fun coach to drive. Here's the thing, it gets better fuel economy. So if you were getting sort of mid-teens per gallon on a V6 and the previous models of the Mercedes, you can count on upper teens. Wouldn't be shocked to hear about 20 miles per gallon, but it's a lighter, more quieter engine with better fuel economy. So let's talk about some features. Right up here we have a little courtesy light right outside the door, so when we open up this door you can hardly see it on this bright day, but it lights up the outside. Very handy to have that. Right here is our awning switches inside, right under the passenger seat. You're going to turn this on and click extend to extend, and our awning is going to extend automatically. Now this awning is going to come out about 7 feet. It's about 12 feet long on what I refer to as the fun side of the RV. Why? Because this is where all the fun stuff happens. This is where the fire pit is. This is where the card games are. This is where you're making pudgy pies and telling those fish tales. This is where all the fun stuff happens. So I always like a lot of awning coverage, and I also appreciate when the awning covers my storage, because these storage compartments I'm going to access all the time, more so on the utility side. That's why these storage compartments are so very important. That one and this one right here, right next to the door, I'm constantly going to be getting, you know, supplies out of here. Maybe it's the charcoal or the lighter or whatever, all those kinds of things, the dog leashes, the dog toy, whatever, right out here, and it's handy underneath our awning. This awning does have a wind sensor, so if it whips up some wind, it will retract automatically. There is an LED light strip along there, so at night you have a nice soft light out here, and there's also a patio light up here, also LED of course. Now in this storage compartment there's a 2000 watt pure sine wave inverter. Pure clean power for all of your outlets inside. So when you turn the engine off, you don't have the generator running, you still have household power, regular plug-in power at all of the outlets inside. You can also run the microwave from inverted power. Very handy to have that. It's good to have that. About these, what I call basement doors, check this out. They're soft close. So if somebody's napping in there and you grab something out, they're not going to slam closed. All you need to do to make it a good, tight, weather-tight fit is give that a turn. It pulls this in, makes a tight seal around this gasket so everything stays nice and high and dry on the inside here. Heavy duty struts on all of these doors, so this thing isn't going to come crashing down on your head, and holds it up. But again, soft close all the doors. Also, this is an EPDM rubber hinge. It's not metal that can rust or corrode. It also won't allow any moisture through there. Notice there's no gap like there would be on a piano hinge or something, so it's completely weather tight. I do have power out here, so if I have a little table on the outside, I can put a coffee maker or something out here. Now, this coach was not optioned with the optional outside table. That doesn't hurt my feelings. About half of the people that place orders on these order the outside table, the other half don't. If you did, that table would reside right in here. And then there would be two cleats on the side of the coach where the table will fit up against. Now here's the thing. With the optional table, and it is a nice table, and I've shown it in some of my other videos, and it fits right here. It's a two-legged table because the other side of it locks into the coach, and it sits right here. Very handy. It's a well-made table, but here's the thing. There is one place on planet Earth that table will work, and it's right here. So let's just say you're at a campsite, and this is the wet spot, or there's a rock, or I don't want my table here, I wish it was over there. That's why I like to just get a portable aluminum Kuma brand, perhaps, table that I can move wherever and cook wherever out here. So it's a matter of opinion. It's up to you. If you've got a table and you love it, drop it in the comments below. If you wish you would have gotten a portable one, put that down there too. No right or wrong, right? That's why they make strawberry and vanilla ice cream. Lots of nice storage though in here, and it's got this sort of tight nap carpeting, so it protects things if they're sliding around, prevents things from sliding around a little bit more too. Now, one reason that leisures are so quiet, and I don't know if you can show this, but there's foam sprayed up under here. That spray foam, it's under everything, so when you're kicking up a rock or something, you're going down the road, you're not hearing that. But it also insulates the whole thing. You know, if you've heard of hush mat that some high-end car makers put in their autos to quiet them, it's the same principle here. So as road noise happens, it's not transmitting that road noise to the rest of the coach. So that's a pretty cool feature, something that I wouldn't have thought to think about. Speaking of things you wouldn't think about, is the vacuum bonding that LTV does and the way they make the wall of this. I tell customers when you're shopping around, and you should, do the thump test. Go up to the side and do this. I don't know if you can tell this through the video, but that is solid. It's just solid. It's not giving, because this whole wall is vacuum bonded. Think of it as a giant food saver for an RV wall. What they do, they take the exterior fiberglass layer, 2-pound density foam in the middle, and then your interior wall board, spread the adhesive out and put it under vacuum. A lot of vacuum, a lot of weight. It distributes the adhesive, makes it a much quieter ride, a better insulated coach. The walls are vacuum bonded, the roof is vacuum bonded, so when you're going down the road, it's a quieter coach, thanks to that process in part. You can see that we have our awning tilt-out style windows here, so I can leave these open. If a rain shower were to come up, I can still leave these open. It can't rain in there, and we still get some nice air ventilation in there. Camera in the back. Now there's two cameras up there. It's probably kind of hard to see, but there's a backup camera, and then there's also the camera for the rear view mirror. So now standard on all 2024s is the rear view digital camera. There's no window here. This looks like a window, but it's not. It's just paint. So you can't actually look in a real mirror and see through the back of the coach, but it looks like you can on the digital rendering of what you see back there. It's adjustable. That's why there's two cameras up there, and that's a really neat feature. Down here, we have our hitch. It's a 5,000-pound hitch. When you take into account your cargo carrying capacity and what you can safely tow, you can count on towing about 4,300 pounds of weight. There's a 500-pound tongue rating on this, but I can pull a small car like, say, a Pontiac Vibe, a Ford Escape Hybrid, Subaru Crosstrek manual, things like that. Two-door Jeep Wrangler are all viable tow vehicles. If you need some help in navigating what kind of vehicle you can safely pull, I'm happy to help with that. Just my own opinion, since we have a motorhome and I've pulled cars behind our motorhome, but happy to help you with that process. But it's nice to have a pretty stout hitch back here and our requisite wiring for brakes and lights and so on. Now here's the business side of the coach, the utility side, the off-door side. So Leisure does a nice job of putting all the connections in one place. They're not dispersed throughout the side of the coach. Sometimes manufacturers will put the water hook up here and the power, and it's just kind of all over the place. So everything is here. The only thing that's not in here is our main 30-amp power, which is up there. I'll show you that in just a minute. This coach is optioned with a macerator. This is your macerator hose. Everybody that has a macerator loves the macerator. So the nice thing about the way Leisure does this is you can see the macerator motor assembly is right here on the end. Should you ever have a problem with the macerator, you can remove that motor and let gravity do its thing. Gravity has a wonderful thing about it. It always goes downhill. The weight always goes downhill. So in the event that you had a problem, I like that Leisure puts it out here and they don't bury it somewhere where it takes major surgery to get to it. Anyway, what's a macerator? It's a garbage disposal, basically, a blender for your black tank, only your black tank. So when it comes time to dump this black tank, you're gonna hit your macerator switch, you're gonna put your, this is not on here, this is a brand new coach, we're gonna put this on the end of this hose, put that into your sewer outlet, flip the switch on, and you evacuate the tanks in no time all. It's a no-muss way of doing it. Pop it in there, run gray water through to help rinse out your system, tuck it away, and you're good for the next dumping. So very handy. We have our black and gray tank valves, which of course you're going to open first before you kick your macerator on, and a black tank flush. It's nice to do this certainly seasonally. I like to do it at the end of every at the end of every trip before I store the coach for a while. But you can do it after every tank dumping if you want to. Does a nice job of cleaning out the black tank. Your propane fill, kind of self-explanatory. If you have cable at your campground, and many of them do now, you're just going to hook it up there with a coax cable that you need to bring with you. And now you have cable on the inside of the coach. Propane shutoff switch, so obviously we're going to turn that off before we get our propane filled. Let's say you come out here and, darn, I forgot, my water pump's not on. You can turn that on and off out here as well as inside. So handy to have that. Moving down here, here's your main water supply, and Leisure already puts a 90 on there so you're not kinking your hose. Route that hose up through here for your main water supply. It's nice to have that already on there. We have a hot and cold outdoor shower with a quick connect. So I'm just going to pull this collar back and lock this in. Now I can spray my sandy feet off at the beach, wash the dogs, wash your spouse, whatever you need washing, hot and cold out here. And then a valve dedicated to winterizing here. And our little knob up here is going to tell us if we're going to fill the tank. I'm going to move it this way. Normal or city water, it's in this position where it's going to be most of the time. Now here's a handy thing. Just like you would winterize it, you're going to pull this guy down, put it in a jug of RV antifreeze, put it in winterize, turn the pump on and suck RV antifreeze through your system. You can also pull good, clean, fresh water into your system if you're out in the middle of Timbuk nowhere. You don't have pressurized water to get in there, but I want fresh water in. Bring some jugs of clean, fresh water, drop that in there, kick the pump on, and fill up your fresh water tank. I wish Leisure would put a cap on the end of that. A little bit of very minor critique, no big deal, but other than that, that's a really handy thing to have in there. Again, soft close, just like all the others. A lot of people say, well, why doesn't this lock? Can't lock it when there's propane inside. No RV can have a lockable propane door. All the rest of them are lockable. You can see right here, you have a key that you can lock all of these other compartments. So another nice storage compartment here. Leisure's always gonna give you a regular standard sewer hose should you need it. Boom, right there. You may never take that out of its wrapper, but if you need it, it's there. Storage compartment. And then here is the LP generator. Yes, there's a certain amount of angst out there because you can only get an LP generator in a leisure travel van now. You can't get a diesel. So a lot of chatter on the online forums about that. Why LP? Well, just my opinion, but LP is cleaner, less maintenance. It won't gum up like a gasoline or a diesel generator. It is a little bit quieter. It is less expensive. And it's a little bit larger, 3600 compared to the 32 on diesel. Many folks are asking me, well, where do you get LP when I'm out traveling? You can get LP really lots of places. I haven't been to a Flying J that didn't have LP. Most truck plazas have LP. Every U-Haul on the planet has LP, as far as I know, and campgrounds have LP, many gas stations and travel plazas. So that doesn't concern me a whole lot. The other question is how long will LP last me if I'm out boondocking? Hard to answer that question. It depends on what you're asking your generator to do. What do you have your thermostat set on and things like that. But certainly days you can go by. Probably a whole lot longer than that, but in a very worst case scenario where you're really asking this to do a lot, it's not like you're going to have to run out and get propane every single day. Before I leave this area, right here I'll point out our 30 amp portable power cord. Fits right in here. We have our Truma on-demand AquaGo water heater. So it's a tankless water heater. You can take those long showers if you want to. Truma's the best brand on the planet for tankless water heaters. This runs on propane, so it's going to be running off your propane tank. Your furnace vent is right here. Coming around here, open up our front door. This will access our diesel fuel port right here. So notice when the door is closed, you can't access this diesel filling location. You have to open the door. So open this, close your door, fuel up so you're not filling up the coach with the smells of a truck stop, and then close it back up, and you're off to the races. Now you also have a DEF tank under the hood here, which you're gonna have to fill up. Every 6 to 8 fill-ups, I think average is what it is, underneath the hood. This is the same thing that we've seen in years past on Mercedes, but there's a handy step right here. If I need to get up, access my windshield, wipe the windshield off, there's a handy step right there to do that. Now it's a beautiful day here, and you can see I have my top skylight vent lifted all the way up, which is really, really fantastic because I can let the fresh air in on a beautiful day like this and get some fresh air inside the coach. Hey, speaking of inside the coach, let's go inside and have a look. Okay, now we're on the inside of this rear lounge unity. And again, folks ask me, hey, what's your favorite floor plan? It really depends on your own personal preferences and how you're going to use it. But for me, this is my favorite lounge, my favorite living room of any leisure travel van. No other LTV has this luxurious living space. I've got huge windows over here that I can look out on a lake or a river or mountains or stream. If I have a pet, and many of you do, this is going to be where they're going to hang out all day with paws up here looking out and watching the world go by. So really, really comfortable. I have my smart TV up here. It's a Samsung with a sound bar under it. LTV always gives you sound bars, so you have that great audio quality. I've got another smart TV up front, so very handy to have that. Now, here's a trade-off in this living room area back here. Where's the bed? Well, the bed's a Murphy bed, so the bed's going to drop down, and then we lose our lounge area. But by day, I have a fantastic area where I can stretch out and take a nap right here. There's room for me to do it. Now, this is a neat thing too. Hey, what's this thing laying here? It's a little remote control, so I can sit down here and recline this seat. I don't recline the seat. I can put out the footrest and make it really comfortable for watching television or just relaxing. I can do that on both this side as well as this side. If you're not using it, just tuck it away. So hey, what happens when it's time to turn this into a bed? Easy, I'll show you. All we need to do is remove 3 cushions in the back. Now we have a Murphy bed that's going to drop down here, and we're going to sleep east and west, not north and south. So these 3 cushions need to go somewhere. I like to just put them right down here underneath or in front of the sofa. And I have a third one here, which you can toss in the shower, in the closet, down here. It's up to you. First thing you're going to do is lift this up. This is going to be the support for the end of the bed that drops down, and you're going to release it right here with this. Just give it a tug and drop this down. Now, here's the neat thing. Nice bed, 74 inches, 58 inches wide. So 74 inches, 6 foot tall, you're good to go. Here's the neat thing, in a lot of situations on RVs where you're sleeping east to west, somebody's doing the dreaded crawl over routine. In this case, I can access the bed from down here and not disturb my partner who's sleeping here. So I am 6 feet tall, plenty of room for me to get in here and get out of the bed. I can sneak out of the bed over here, go use the restroom or whatever, and not disturb the person here. A lot of folks ask, what's this strap for? So you can make up the bed, your sheets, your blanket, your mattress topper perhaps, and when you tuck it up, it'll help retain the bedding so it's not all bunching down as you're going down the road. So the nice thing is you can keep it made up while traveling or every night. You don't have to make it up every night, strip all the sheets off and everything. Inside this little cubby are USB charging ports. You have USB-C and regular USB. And then over on the other side of the bed, there's the same thing there, as well as inverted power. So some folks need CPAP machines. That's inverted power from that inverter that we pointed outside. So you've got regular household power, 110 at that outlet when you need it, even with no generator running and even with no shore power. So, all right, we've showed this off a little bit. It's time to pop it back up. Just give it a release and pop this guy up like so. Release this little leg under here and pop that up, and now it's ready for travel. Put my cushions right up back where they were, and it's just that easy to convert it back into a lounge. Now, over here on this side, I'll point out these cabinets before I leave this area. Again, these are all soft close, just like the cabinets on the outside. Soft close, soft close, soft close. So you have storage all the way around up here. lot of really nice storage up here, and such a nice cabinet build on leisure travel vans. You can just feel the quality. It's kind of hard to describe until you come out and look at them in person. Here at Leisure RV Center, again, we're part of Vogt RV. We aspire to always have a leisure travel van for you to look at. Now, it may not be your exact floor plan, but you can come in and get a sense of what the build quality is like here. And that's something that we appreciate LTV allowing us to do. You always want to make sure once these close that you give them a little push or release this little catch under here before you travel. Now, when you're at a campsite, nope, that's good enough right there. But before you travel, I always like to have a travel checklist before I leave, and this would be on it. Go around and check every cabinet, door, and drawer and make sure they are closed. That way it's not opening up and have stuff all over the floor when you get to your destination. Over here is a cushion and a little extra cubby down here. Notice we have inverted power on this side too. So either side of the bed not only has USB and USB-C, but you have inverted 110 power on both sides being provided by that inverter. And again, we have two 100 amp hour lithium batteries on board here, so it's nice to have that battery power. So this cushion goes up front if I want to convert the two seats up front into a third sleeping position besides this right back. So I can sleep two people here. I can sleep another person up there. In case your Aunt Matilda shows up and it's raining outside and you want to let her come in, you can make a bed for her too. I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. That's where the cushion lives for that. Now, storage right here. I've got nice wardrobe storage where I can hang clothes up there. This is our Lagoon Table and our Lagoon Table mounts. I'll show you that in just a jiffy. And then we have drawers, all soft close, soft close, soft close. So nice drawers. Here's another neat thing about this floor plan in particular. I can close off this area completely. So somebody wants to be hanging out back here watching TV, watching the football game, and somebody wants to be hanging out up there watching something different or reading. All I have to do is open the shower door and close it, and I'm in here, complete privacy. Plus, when it comes time for showering, you can have this entire space to yourself. So I have shower over here and toilet and sink over here. So let's go ahead and show these two things. I like to show the shower, and I always like to get in the shower just to give you a spatial idea. I'm 6 feet tall, average build. So I have a skylight up here. I could be another, what, 6'4", 6'5", and still get in here and take a shower. This isn't a huge shower, but it's big enough to do what you have to do in a shower. I have an adjustable shower wand up and down here, little place to put shampoo, soap, and so on, and another little cubby right here. This is a neat feature. I've got a LED light here, and then I can pull this down and hang swimsuits, something like that, or hang drip dry things, just let them dry in here as well. There's a grab bar here for safety, and then this is great. This is a self-squeegeeing. I invented that word recently, I think. Squeegeeing, self-squeegeeing shower door. So that thing is automatically wiping itself clean and dry every time you open and close it. Love that. And again, I can close this completely and have privacy in here as I'm showering. Now over to the other business side of the bathroom. I have a porcelain foot flush toilet. Storage behind here, so Leisure's not using any good space to waste. 1, 2, 3, 4 corner shelves back here. And then this is kind of neat. So I want a little bit of privacy. I have a mirror here. What if I want privacy? I can just boom, put this over, and I still have a mirror on that side, but I have complete privacy in the bathroom. Make sure you latch that up there. Again, that ought to be on your pre-travel checklist. Make sure that's latched because you don't want this thing banging going down the road. I have a secondary panel here for our light switches, so master lights, bath ceiling lights on and off, and our water pump. So let's say we stopped at a rest area, need to flush the toilet. Gosh, the water pump's not on. I can hit the water pump switch right there. I don't have to go up there and do it up front. Nice little place to put your toothbrushes and so on. Nice little sink here. It looks like it might be even a little bit bigger than one that's in an airplane. Very, very nice. A little bit more storage under here, and your whole house water filter. Super easy to just unscrew that. Put a filter canister, charcoal filter canister in there. It's a standard thing that you can get at a big box store. I like to do it at least seasonally, maybe twice a year if you're running a lot of water through the coach. So pretty nice sized bathroom. Again, we're in a 25-foot package with no slide out. So when you start taking those things into context, you realize that this has got a lot going for it. 2024 and 2023, they introduced this nice diffused LED lighting. How wonderful is this? I remember our first motorhome we bought, it had lots of dark corners and the old incandescent lights. It's just really pretty awful. There's no dark corners in here, and the neat thing is you can dim these by simply holding on the light switch or the multiplex panel up there. You can dim any of these. I've got accent lighting across the top of the cabinets that you can also control separately. So let me take this step by step as we move forward. This is new in 24, is the new pantry rack system. Instead of the wire type of unit that was in here before, now we have these metal trays. It's nice. You can put smaller items in here, and it's a little bit wider. So every leisure travel van is going to have a pantry of some sort. This is the perfect place for one here, and I can do my cooking and my prep, reach in here for seasonings and so on. Right here's our another secondary panel here for light switches. Our fan right above me here, galley lights and main ceiling lights, so it's nice to have this. Everybody knows by now, if you watch my videos, this is of course a grenade launcher. No, it's not a grenade launcher, it's actually a thermistor. It's sampling the air temperature, sending that information back to the multiplex system so you're staying comfortable. You'll see these throughout the coach. Now, our convection microwave, it is inverted power. So if I'm off in the middle of Timbuk nowhere, I don't have my generator running and I have no shore power, I can still warm up leftovers, make popcorn or whatever from inverted power from my two 100 amp hour lithium batteries. All right, here we go. This is new in 2024. It's a Norcold 12 volt refrigerator. A lot of conversation about this out in the interwebs, okay? Now, what's different about this? Here's a couple things different about it from what Leisure has had in the past. It does not open both ways like the old ones did. Bummer, right? All right. It's a 12 volt refrigerator though. It does not run on propane like the old ones did. The old ones were gas absorption refrigerators. This is a compressor refrigerator. They're both good refrigerators, but the RV industry is gravitating toward 12 volts. At some point, I wouldn't be shocked to find out if Leisure goes to a completely electric coach and loses the propane entirely. We'll see. But for now, this is a 12 volt refrigerator. What's good about it? It cools quickly. It cools really cold. We have a freezer compartment down here, so this is different. A nice drawer freezer compartment, and then a spacious refrigerator compartment up here. Now, the old gas absorption fridges would have fins in the back there because it's different technology. You lose those here, so it's deeper in here. 12 volt refrigerators cool quicker, they cool colder, they're not subject to they're not temperamental with leveling and so on. But the immediate concern is, well, I can't boondock in this because it won't run off propane. You can, in fact. You just need to be mindful of your power consumption, and you can keep an eye on it up here on your multiplex system. So refrigerators don't use a whole lot of power, not like air conditioners do and so on. Now your air conditioner will only run off the generator power or shore power. Your generator's not running off the batteries. Batteries are supplying power to everything else, including the microwave and this 12 volt refrigerator. So what's the ambient temperature outside? How many beverages are you reaching for? How many times you're opening and closing the door? Those will all factor in on how long you could go with a full state of charge on your batteries. Certainly overnight, days, it depends on a lot of variables. Here's the neat thing though. You can set your generator to come on at a certain level of discharge. So if your batteries get to a certain point, or you can do it by timing, the generator is going to kick on automatically, bring those batteries to full charge, and you're good to go for another day or whatever be the case. So anyway, we can talk more about that. I may do a separate video. One last thing I'll say about gas absorption fridges versus this. If you've had a gas absorption fridge, and I've had a bunch, you need to turn them on the night before to bring them down to temperature and get cold before you start putting ice cream and things like that in there. 12-volt refrigerator, not so much. This works just like your one at home. Turn it on, put the ice cream in there, and a couple hours later. So good stuff. All right, I think I've covered this area, so we're moving this way into the galley area. Now we have Antarctica countertops. So this is a nice, bright countertop. Most of the units that we order have this Antarctica countertop. I have my my lid open right here. This is our skylight. I don't know, this light might be messing with the camera. If it is, I'll close it. But what's neat is I can have the screen here, total blackout there, or open it there, and look at there. I have the world out there. I can feel the nice breeze. Super easy to pop this closed and latch it for travel, or open it up for airflow. Really nice. Would you like me to leave this closed? I'll leave it closed. All right. Maybe we should have a vote out there. So, hey, Antarctica countertops, really bright, brightens it up in the interior. And then, of course, I have Dove. Dove is a very, very popular upholstery choice. A lot of people, what kind of leather does it have? Well, it's not real leather. It's actually man-made, but it feels like leather, and it's super easy to clean. And hey, we've had these units where I've gotten ink out of them, all kinds of dirt, put a gentle cleanser on there, rub it off, and these really clean up nicely. But with this Dove leather, there, I did it, Dove upholstery, it really brightens up the inside of the coach. Now, if I want to expand my worktop, I just release this right here, and voila, look at there. Now I have even more prep space up here. So our 2-burner LP cooktop, we love cooking on gas, so I hope they don't get rid of it. We just really prefer cooking with gas, but there you go, 2-burner cooktop. Make sure it's cool. Don't drop this down when it's obviously still on. This is glass, and you don't want to put a ton of weight on the top of there either. I'll latch that back up there for travel. Hey, Leisure thinks of everything, including what do I do with this when I don't need it? They put a little recessed area in here. Just slide this guy up in there. How handy is that? Now I open up this nice, sizable stainless steel basin sink. Very, very handy. I've got little hooks here to hang washcloths and so on. I can put soap, paper towel over here, pop this out. Really handy to have that. Again, same drill up here. Our soft close drawers, our utensil divider in here with your remotes. Boom, boom, and boom. Very nice, and I can hang a dishcloth or a towel right under here. Very handy. Soft close, same way up here. All these are soft close cabinets. And this is a handy little cubby up here for spices. If you're at a campsite for a while, maybe put some glassware or whatever up here. It's nice to have that little extra cubby. We have GFI protected outlets up here. And then you've got outlets for your coax cable for your entertainment system, depending on your setup. If you put a satellite receiver or that kind of component in here, you're right next to inverted power to make it handy for that. Now our AC unit is completely ducted, so the AC lives up on top of the coach, 100% ducted. It's not a drop-in, so your air is coming out of these vents, and it's much, much more quiet. Because of that, even with the AC on, we can have a conversation, watch television, and it's not drowning us out. Now let's talk about this multiplex system right here. It might be kind of hard to see in the video, but I'm at the home menu. We've got our lighting. I can turn the lights on or off here, control our climate, control our power, and check our tanks, all in the home screen. If I go to the little light bulb, this is just lighting. So if I want to dim the lights, I just hold down on this and the lights are dimming. You can probably tell in the video, if I hold it long enough, they're going to come right back to full brightness, and I can do that on any of these, including my porch, my awning, and exterior baggage lights. I can control all from here. This little lightning bolt has everything to do with power. So our generator power, our start time, auto gen start, like I said, maybe you've got quiet hours at a campground where you're at. You'll want to make sure the generator starts only during the acceptable times and by voltage. Very, very handy to have that. And then our little thermometer guy is our climate control. So furnace, cooling, just like home, set your thermostat where you want it to be. And then finally, we have some diagnostics here. And this is really handy to have in case you get out and you have an issue. Our technician may say, hey, go in there and hit that little gear icon. We'll troubleshoot this for you out there when you're in the wild. So it's handy to have that. I can close off the entire cab with a curtain that LTV provides. It's got snaps here. You're just going to snap them in here and then around the front of the cab. The seats both rotate around so that I can expand my living area up front to the back. And this coach was optioned with the safe. It's a hotel-style Dometic safe. Code 1234. Don't tell anyone. You can change that code once you get it, obviously. But nice to have that up there. Again, it's optional. If you buy a coach and you happen to land on one that doesn't have that, we can add a safe for you. But it is nice to have that. Getting a little ahead of myself because I want to talk about this right here. So we have two seats here. Put this back up. I have two seats here with seat belts. So yes, seat belt, seat belt, seat belt, seat belt. 4 seat belts going down the road. So another couple or perhaps children can ride back here and you can be buckled in. There's a little cubby right in here for shoes as well as here and a shelf, so you come in, toss those flip-flops or your shoes in there. Really, really handy to have that. And also we have our inverted power here, and again USB and USB-C. These are everywhere. You're never very far away from power. Okay, so what if we need to make this into another bed? It's not major production, but there's a couple things you want to do. Just need to remove some cushions. We'll need to do something with this seat belt, so I'm going to take this off of here, and you'll notice this seat belt comes up through this little guy right here. You'll want to pop it through there and see it's got a piano hinge down here. Just going to pop this down like so. And you can see what's happening here. I'm starting to make a bed platform, right? So remove this one. Same drill. This just hinges down and there and here. Now, I know what you're saying at home. Whoa, what about that? I got the answer. Remember that cushion I pointed out earlier? Let me go get it. Yeah, that cushion back there goes right here, just like so. And now I have a bed where a real tall person can sleep because it goes from outside a coach to outside a coach. Now, I made the mistake that a lot of people made. I didn't put this up here the first time. I put this there, and I'm like, wait, that? No, wait, So, no, this actually pulls down like so, and then this guy, which is probably going to be your pillow end down there. So the nice thing about it is yes, you do have another pretty comfortable extra sleeping spot for someone else. Now, as I always like to say, it's entirely up to you if you tell anyone that this will sleep another person. That's for you to know and nobody else, but if you tell somebody that's your own business. You know, mother-in-law might knock on the door, hey, what do you want? What are you doing here? Don't stand out there in the rain, go home! Or you might want to invite her in case right here you have a bed. Hey, let's show off this table, this Lagoon table, before I move up into the cab area. Leisure makes a nice little cubby in here in your closet to store it, so when you're going down the road it snaps in here. Just lift it up out like so. See, it's got a little channel there to keep it from rattling around. There's another piece right there on the bottom. You'll use that only up front, and I'll show you that in just a second. But before we go up there, I'll show you this. So this guy is on here just for storage. So what you're going to do is take this base part And then see our Lagoon mount right here? Slide it down. Of course, this is going to be adjustable up and down depending on your application. So you may need it higher, you may need it lower. You can do it either way. This side's already on here, so you're going to pop this into there. Rotate this guy around. Pop that in here. Now the nice thing is I can rotate this around here depending on how you need to use it. The same deal up front, except we need that base piece to go in the hole in between the front seats. Now this is optional to get this table. If you don't want it, don't think you'll need it, don't need to get it. It's entirely up to you. If you don't get it, you won't have that circle receiver in the floor up there. But it's nice to have this. See how it rotates around? If I'm over here, I can push this way. Somebody can be over there. We can both be eating from it or have a laptop on it. Really handy to have that. So let me get the base and I'll show you the front application. So we can use the same table mount that we did back there up here. We just need to add this circular portion that goes into this receiver in the floor. Now remember, if you don't get this option, you won't have this in the floor. But this is the same thing we used in the back. So we can adjust this up or down, whatever height you like, tighten that down. And the same drill, I'm going to put this into this little receiver like so. Now here's the beauty of this. I can use it as a dining table here. I can push it over there. I can pull it over here. I can do it this way, get it out of the way. I can come up into the cab and then pull it back. So I can spin both of these seats around, which I'll show you in just a moment. So I can actually have 4 people seated around this, playing cards, do it this way, eating, what have you. But it's nice to have this. I can adjust it up and down, and again, it's the same table that's back there. While I'm talking about table mounts and floors and stuff, remember we have a flat floor all the way from the front of the coach all the way to the back. There used to be a step down into the cab area here, which you'll see with a lot of other manufacturers, but Leisure Travel Van has made it straight and flat front to back. It's a nice safety feature, less tripping hazard. Okay, now up in the cab area of this Mercedes-Benz chassis, I want to point out that when you compare this to any other chassis, whether it's Ford, Ram, what have you, you're going to have the most legroom. It's the most spacious, easy to maneuver in and out of. So I've got customers that come in, tall guys, 6'5", 6'6". This is the only chassis that they fit into because there's so much leg room. And you think about it, you want to be able to pivot around and go to the back of the coach easily, and you can with this Mercedes chassis. Now I want to expand our living area by turning these seats around, and it's easy to do. In most cases, you're going to want to move the seat forward a little bit so it doesn't hit this post. And then once you do, release the front of the seat and it just spins around. And then I can move it to the back and create a little more leg room up here, and I can adjust the angle of the back of the seat here too, whatever fits your body type. So boom, like this, really super comfortable. So 4 people can be seated around here with or without the table. I've got my smart TV up there. It's nice for visiting and so on. This seat does the exact same thing. Now Leisure takes these seats out from Mercedes-Benz and reupholsters them completely. So I have to tell you, they're comfortable. The stock seats from Mercedes are comfortable, but they're even better yet when Leisure gets done with them. They're all completely adjustable here on the door, so the seat front and back by just pushing it back or forward, and then the angle of your back is the same way. Now up here in the chassis, there's all of the Mercedes upgrades that came on board around mid-2019. So adaptive cruise control, I'm going to put these up on the screen just for easy reference. If you want to pause it, you can. But adaptive cruise control, SOS, pre-collision assist, a lot of safety and convenience features that you would expect in a Mercedes-Benz, and the same ones that appear in all Mercedes autos these days. On your instrument cluster up here on our left side, we control our cluster in the middle with a lot of our safety features. So I can go to home, our lane keep assist, roadside recognition, all those kinds of things. And on the right side, I'm going to control our entertainment cluster. So our Sirius XM radio and all those kinds of things are over there. Our mirrors are power and heated here on the side, and our seats are heated too. Well, that's nice if you're getting in this thing in its cold temperatures. So it's a very comfortable driving experience. If you've seen videos and you've shopped around on units built on the Mercedes chassis, manufacturers can get them upgraded at different levels. So this is a premium upgraded chassis from Mercedes for leisure travel van. Up on the dash area here, I've got cup holders and storage galore. So I have USB up here, I have wireless charging, place to lay your phone, cup holder, cup holder, cup holder, cup holder. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cup holders up here. So have all the beverages of choice, because I've got some here in the door as well. Right here I have thigh support. Just pop this out if you got longer legs. Man, this really makes those long trips more comfortable and more bearable. And remember, we've got our digital always on rear view mirror. So even though I can't literally see out back through the native mirror, this will allow me to do it. Now you can switch back and forth under here if you want to have a conversation with somebody back there and you want to look them in the eye. You can still do that with the regular old-fashioned mirror, or turn it back to the digital setting to have a clear shot out the back of the coach. So hey, my name is Mike. I'm at Leisure RV Center of DFW. We're right next to our Jayco Super Center. We're across the highway from Tiffin and down the road from Airstream. It's all part of Vogt RV family of companies. A lot of you have asked, where have I been? I haven't seen you in a while. So still making videos. I spend most of my time here at the Leisure RV Center location, where we sell leisure travel vans and lots of other brands too of Class B and B+ motorhomes. You're still going to see videos from me from Jayco and Airstream and probably Tiffin too. So thanks for asking. As always, if you've got a question, comment, drop it in the section below. Always like hearing from you. And while you're down there, please and thank you, click like and subscribe. That way you'll be the first to know when we post more videos like this. My name's Mike. We're at Leisure RV Center of DFW. Thanks a bunch. I'll see you next time.